All right, Tim Castleman, 30minutepostcards.com. Want to thank you for joining me of part 2 of my $3,000 sales lesson. For those of you who weren't able to watch part 1, be sure to go back and check that out. Give you a quick summary. I wanted to go out and train in Vegas with a performing magician/mentalist and basically learn what he did, pay him for his time and his services, and that's what happened. For $3,000, I got the option and the ability to do that. $1,500 due up front, $1,500 due at the completion of the assignment. So part 2 is basically what I affectionately refer to as the screw up, and what I want to show you is how things changed when money became involved. If you remember from part 1, we were going back and forth via email and had agreed upon everything. He had sent me a letter of agreement to sign and get back with him, and then basically we would go from there. The letter of agreement was pretty basic. It just explained what I was getting for the money, how much time we would spend together, no less than 4 hours, that he'd get me the full show script within 7 days after the event, explain to me how to do everything, after support, include packaging, products, things like that. Here's what I wanted to talk to you about. When we were conversating before the agreement took place, we were probably exchanging emails once every hour, once a day, twice a day, maybe. But as soon as the agreement became, he sent it over to me, I went from getting an email every half day to every probably hour to 2 hours. Hey, just want to make sure you got the agreement. Hey, just want to make sure you got the agreement. Hey, not sure if I gave you my PayPal address correctly. Hey. So imagine this. You've done all this hard work and positioned yourself as an authority, as an expert, as the go-to guy, right? And someone has said they are interested in your services, and you send a letter of agreement out to them, right? You have two choices. One is to play it cool, right? Play it cool, know that the money's coming to you, know that the money's coming back. As soon as they assign the agreement, you're going to get paid, everything like that. Or option B is you turn into a salesperson, right, that is just hovering over the prey like a vulture coming down on a dead carcass, right? What that did in my mind was that immediately started to put up some reservations and some walls, like, well, instead of, hey, this guy just wants to make sure I got the agreement, which is fine, and one email would accomplish that, it turned into, wow, this guy seems pretty desperate for this money, and he wants it pretty bad. And I think a lot of times we do that as salespeople. When we start talking about figures and we start going towards the close, we instantly become this hawk. And basically, you've been Cool Hand Luke all the way up, right? You've positioned yourself right. You've done everything right. But when money comes on the table, then you're like a little 8-year-old kid. I want. And it really detracts. And I'll tell you from my own experience, like I said, it immediately started putting walls up. In fact, I know you can't see me because I'm recording this, but I mean, even as I describe it, I kind of shrink a little bit. I mean, that's really what it did. But despite all that, I went ahead and put my deposit down through PayPal, and we started on our journey together. Now, here is mistake number 2. All right. He says, hey, we need to get together via phone, quick little chat. Things. This was on a Monday. I sent him the money. Tuesday, hey, we need to get on a phone, get a chat. Okay, no phone call Tuesday, right? Then Wednesday, no phone call during the day. Then he says, hey, Tim, I want to call you at night. Is that possible? Well, he's on the West Coast or close to the West Coast. I'm not, 2-hour time difference. He wants to call me at 9 o'clock at night his time, meaning 11 o'clock my time. Not a problem. I'm a night owl, right? But I stop what I'm doing. I wait up. Now, he says around 11 o'clock. He calls at 11:30, right? I'm expecting this in-depth conversation. We're going to talk about things, become good friends, everything like that. 3 minutes later, I'm off the phone with him, right? A little disappointed, but totally understand. During that conversation, that brief 3-minute conversation, he says to me, hey, Tim, I'm going to get you this questionnaire I need you to fill out. It'll get me better knowledge and examples of you. In addition, I'm going to go ahead and get those products out to you so you can start reviewing them, right? Well, that was Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember. Wednesday, the next day goes by. The next day goes by. Now, I'm emailing him continuously. And by continuously, I mean 1 to 2 times a day. Hey, man, still haven't got the the deal, wanted to make sure that you were sending it. You have any questions, anything like that. And it goes on and it goes on for 3 or 4 days where I don't hear from him. I don't have the agreement. I don't have a tracking number for the products. I don't have any of that stuff, right? So I'm starting to legitimately get concerned here. So I contact him with an email and I say, and it's a nice email. Hey, I just kind of want to get our expectations of each other down on paper. What do you expect from me? What do I expect from you? And I make some reference to, and I believe this was Friday or Saturday. I'll say it was Friday. Hey, if we agree to do something in a certain time frame, I'm kind of a stickler for that. I'd like us to keep doing that. Okay. Well, guess what? No response to that. All right? No response at all. I sent him a text message because I've got his cell phone number. Hey, man, I'm getting you that stuff. Sorry, it's just been crazy busy. I promise I'll get it to you tomorrow. Tomorrow comes and goes. Nothing. So Sunday, I sent him a much stronger worded email, which basically just explains my frustrations with him. The lack of communication, the fact that I haven't got what I'm promised, and the fact that I'm starting to really regret my decision. I mean, we're less than 7 days in, and you haven't delivered on any of the expectations that you have promised me. All right. So he sends me back this big email. Hey, Tim, I'm so sorry. Stick with me, buddy. I promise. It's just been crazy. Sundays and Mondays work best for me. Again, he could have set that expectation up at the beginning. Just stay with me. Please stay with me. Fill out this form. He finally gets me the 10-question form, and I will get you the electronic books to you. I'll get them to you today. Now, that was Sunday. At the time of this recording, at 7 p.m. on Monday night, I still don't have anything from him, right? And that was in the morning or the mid-afternoon when I got those when I got those emails from him. And I contacted him later that night, about 9 o'clock, and I said, hey, man, still haven't got anything. Oh, don't worry, Tim, 30 minutes away. Well, now we're going on almost 24 hours, and I still don't have anything. So let's talk about where he screwed up and what the outcome is. He screwed up by not setting expectations in the beginning. And you need to do that in the sales process, because if you don't set expectations in the beginning, right, you're going to have disappointed and hurt feelings. Had he said to me, look, Tim, I'm going to call you. It's going to be a 3-minute conversation, and I'll get you this information at a later time, I would have expected that and not been disappointed. If he had said, now look, Tim, I'm a busy performer. I'm busy Tuesday through Saturday. I'm terrible about being contacted. Give me Sundays, Mondays are going to be the days you need to contact me on. Again, had he set that expectation, I would have been fine with it. But he didn't. So now I'm growing more frustrated and agitated to the day. As the day progresses. The other thing is this. When I talked to him, he made assurances and expectations that things were going to happen. Tim, I'll get you the form by tomorrow. Tim, I'll get you those ebooks today. Tim, I'll get you the products out shortly. Things like that, right? He set the expectation. I never once said, hey, you need to do this, right? I never once said, you need to do this and you need to do this now. I merely explained to him my frustration, and he was the one that set the expectation. And he hasn't met that expectation that he set of himself. So the outcome is this. 24 hours from now, if I don't have the product in my hands, and I don't have an email explaining why, the delay and stuff like that, we're done. Right? I'm getting my money back. We're doing a refund. We're doing all that stuff, because I'm not going to work with somebody like that. All right, I am a reasonable person, and if you set reasonable expectations, and had he addressed this stuff at the front and beginning and said, Tim, look, this is how it's going to work. We're going to talk Sunday and Monday. I'm going to get you some materials. It's going to be next week before I can do that. I would have been understanding. But because he has made and broke expectations with me in the past and continues to do that, right, again, I'm repelled even more from doing that, to the point where now, honestly, I'm like, okay, if he doesn't do it, then I get my money back, and I'm actually feeling a sense of relief because I get my money back and I don't have to work with somebody who has made expectations that they don't want to live by. So there are some great lessons there. One, Do not turn into the greedy 8-year-old kid when money comes on the table. Play it cool. Here's the agreement. If you need to follow up with somebody, that's fine. Once a day or once every other day is perfectly fine. Do not overkill it. 2, set reasonable expectations. If you do not set reasonable expectations on yourself, right, then you're setting yourself up for failure. If you can't do it, tell him, hey, I can't do it in that time frame. I would have been much happier him saying, Tim, wait till next week, I'll be able to get the product out, right? But what he told me was, wait till my days off are here. So I did, right? Well, his days off have come and gone, still nothing to show for it. So now I can't trust this person. I don't know if he's going to deliver what we did. And like I said, within 24 hours, I'm getting my money back. So he has lost out on $3,000 because of these steps. So stick with me for part 3, which will probably be the conclusion. I'll let you know how this irons out. Thanks so much for your time. Again, Tim Castleman, 30minutepostcards.com.